Boom! Hey people, how are you? What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Looney Tunes World of Mayhem. As you can see, I just loaded in because I was having some camera trouble, and I wanted to talk to you about, since we're in the Tweety event, I want to talk to you about the team that I've been using and what I'm thinking about doing for the next time this event or a similar event comes up. And real quick, I just want to redo my tunes so they get going on the next cycle. But also, it'll let me sort of talk about the tunes as I'm going through this. So here you see that I'm doing Sam, and why I'm doing Sam, I don't know. Just because I'm doing Sam just to do Sam because he's a city tune. And the thing about Sam, Mr. Sam, in this instance, is he's not great at all. I saw a new tier list or whatever that said that Mr. Sam is it basically went through and broke every character down from whether they're 5-star, 4.5-star, 4-star, 3.5-star, on down to 1-star. And I'm looking at it right here, and Mr. Sam is a 2-star character, which basically means that he's only usable in PvE campaigns or brawls. And so that's something that you're going to think need to consider doing. Now, obviously, you see that I've not yet even upgraded him. That's because I don't use him a lot at all, and I'm not going to be in the near future. But then we pop up here to Penelope Couture, who I really haven't had time to work on since the event finished, since I got her unlocked. But I'm looking at this thing, and she's a 3.5-star tune. Now, why is this important? Well, because Hector, who's also in the city, is a 3-star. And they're saying that according to this tier list, Penelope Couture is a 3.5-star. And according to the description on this, it says that 3 stars are solid tunes, but they're a bit of a niche. So that would be Hector. And then 3.5 stars would be a little bit more usable than a 3-star. So I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to sort of use Penelope. I'm going to start gearing Penelope Couture so that she's usable for the next time this Tweety event comes up, because she's a little bit more usable than Hector. And then this brings us to our other tank, which we all know is Leopold. And Leopold isn't that same threshold with Penelope Couture. So he's a 3.5-star and not a 3-star, whereas Hector is. And that's going to lead me into another character that I'm going to be talking about shortly, who isn't great, but he's much more usable than, say, Waiter Elmer. Because Waiter Elmer is a 1-star, and I hope my Facebook messages don't come back through today on this while I'm doing this. But and the person that I'm talking about is Chauffeur Porky, who I believe synergizes with Leopold, and I'm going to be using. I'm just trying to find him on this list where he is to make sure that he's really as good as I think he is. Chauffeur Porky, he's an attacker, right? Why am I not seeing him on here? Should be seeing him. I'm trying to just make sure that I'm not representing myself. But at any rate, Chauffeur Porky is better than Waiter Elmer, who would be another attacker. And we all know that Sylvester is, according to this list, Sylvester is a 4.5-star attacker, which means he's basically usable in any situation. He's not as universally perfect for every situation as Daffy, or what this says, Black Knight Sam, and it also has Speed Skater Coyote as the other one, which we all know none of us have access to Speed Skater Coyote. But for this instance, I'm going to be putting more into Sylvester. Additionally, Granny. Granny is a 5-star support. She's usable anywhere. The other 5-star supports, in case you're wondering, are, according to this, Bard LePew and Valkyrie Bugs, which I don't have, but I missed out on. Now, if you're wondering who 4.5-star supports are, that's Chamberlain Porky and OG Porky. So I'm going to be building my team and going forward around these. Now that brings up who else are you going to use for this thing? Because obviously I don't have Tweety open, which is sad. But I'm trying to figure out who I'm going to build this team around. And so you see here, I could go Joe Monday. And if you look on this tier chart, and I'm looking for Joe Monday, Joe Monday is a 2.5-star tune. So Joe Monday, even though my Joe Monday's decent, really good, he's not that great. I mean, he might be okay in the long term, but he's probably not. And looking up here, I'm still not seeing where they put Chauffeur Porky. And I'm wondering, did I just miss him, or did they not? Did they leave him off the list? No, I see him now. I see him now. So Chauffeur Porky is a support, and he's 3 stars, which means that he's better than Joe Monday. And as we'll see here in a second, I think if it'll let me do it. Come on. I don't want to quit doing that. Is it going to let me? I don't want. Okay. It's not going to let me. It's not going to do what I want it to do, basically. And so we're going to have to come in here and look at. We'll go to the City Tunes. And the reason I'm doing this is just so you can know what I'm thinking for the future of this event. And we'll click on him, and we see that he has a positive. He works well with Bugs. I mean, Leopold. And Leopold works. We know that he works, but he also works with other professionals, other artists, which I was thinking Penelope Couture, but she's a professional, I believe. No, she's an artist. So, Leopold will also synergize with Penelope Couture, but Penelope Couture won't necessarily synergize with Bugs. Leopold. And so, the 4th member of my crew going forward is going to be Granny. So we're going to have to make some decisions because we have 5 viable tunes, and I have my picture over Granny here. So we have Granny. So the team going forward that I'm looking at is going to be Sylvester, Leopold. Sylvester, Granny, Leopold, probably Chauffeur Porky, since there's a synergy there, or maybe possibly Penelope Couture, depending on what I need. But I'm just thinking about this, and obviously we know they're going to be doing a thing for Speed Skater Coyote at some time. You can see I have not hardly spent any time leveling any of these tunes. The 2 that I have actually put time into and time and resources into are Yeti Gossamer and Yoda LePew. And the reason why is because if you didn't know, Yeti Gossamer is a tier 5, is a 5-star tank, which means he's on the same hierarchy. The three defenders that are 5 stars in this game are Yodel Gossamer here, Foghorn Leghorn, and Desperado Dog. And so you sort of want to build your team around Yeti Gossamer. And you see that he's nemesis with explorers, and that he's a monster and he's a villain. and he has for some reason he gets along with Witch Hazel really well. Why, I have no idea. But then the other person I'm actually going to look at building this team around is, let me make sure he's where I think he is. Yes, he is. Crap, phone call. I don't know who that is. I'm not going to answer it. Anyway, is this guy. Yodel Le Pew and Skunk Artist. I don't care. Yeah, so I never know when people are going to call. Anyway, Yodel Le Pew here is a. Make sure before I step. He is 3.5 stars. Right? No, he's 4 stars. So Yodel Le Pew is a 4-star attacker, which means he's gonna fit in right with those with the universals. So, right away we know who's gonna be on this team. We know that Yodel Le Pew and Gossamer are gonna be important for this team. So let's figure out who goes well with and the problem is I don't think that anybody else is gonna synergize with this team. So who else do we have? We have, probably that, and I got to make sure before I go out and say what we have. We have Mounty Omer here, who is a 3-star. He's right in line with Hector, and so, but I don't know if he's going to work for this team. But maybe because he has a relationship with Explorers, and I'm pretty sure that everybody else that would be available for this would be an explorer. So now it's up to, well, who's good and who's not so good. Well, going through the list, starting with Trapper Sylvester, I can tell you that Trapper Sylvester is an attacker, and I'm looking at the chart right now to see where he is on the chart, and oddly enough, I'm not seeing him, which is super helpful for this. No, he is. This Trapper Sylvester is not good. He is all of a 1.5 star toon. So he's barely usable. And so that means, guess what? We're probably not going to include Trapper Sylvester, who's a hunter, and he has a synergy with Granny, but this Granny, I'm not sure where Granny is. So let's figure out with Granny. Granny support climber Granny. Granny is also at that same tier with Sylvester. With Trapper Sylvester. She's a 1.5 star, barely usable toon. Not going to work for this team. And you can see here, she has positive. She works well with Trapper Sylvester, but she also works well with Huntsman Porky. So let's go look at Huntsman Porky because he's one of the only other toons we got. Let's take a look at the Sam first before we get into that. You can see that he's an explorer, which I think means he might synergize with Le Pew, but probably not. But he's obviously nemesis with Sylvester and Climber Granny. And Sylvester is, and in this instance, Mountain Man Sam is only 2 stars. Which means he's only barely better than Trapper Sylvester and Climber Granny. So that's a no-show. So who does it leave? Well, for this team, it's only going to leave this guy. And you can see that he happens to synergize with Yodel Le Pew. So we have at least something there. And I will tell you that I'm looking at him, and he's on the same tier as Mounty Omer. 3-star attacker. So you could potentially, when you're thinking about going through this in the future, I'm helping you put together this team. because I think that that this is probably going to be the way they go for the future. Because at some point they're going to have to do an event for Speed Skater Coyote. It's probably going to be, I mean, they're definitely going to do it winter. If not before then, they've got to. So I just want you to be able to be thinking forward for these type of events in the future. So the team, I mean, it's gonna be tanky. It's not gonna have a lot of attack. I mean, it will, because you'll have Huntsman Porky, and then Yodel Le Pew, and then one of the absolute best tanks in the game. You'll have a 4-star attacker in Yodel Le Pew, a 3-star tank in Mountie Elmer, and a 3-star attacker in Huntsman Porky here. And you convert, and so you say, well, how does that jive with your city thing that you were just talking about? Well, Granny, which, Granny's Granny. She's one of the best supports in the game. So we got our 5-star covered right out of the box. Then we have Sylvester, who is a 4.5-star attacker. So he's slightly better than Yodel Le Pew, but not by a lot. And then we have Leopold, who I said who's a 3.5-star tank. So, pretty solid. So you get so far you got 5-star, 4.5, 3.5, and then also Penelope Couture is a 3.5. But conversely, you could use Chauffeur. So it's similar. I mean, obviously this team is a little better because there's more tunes available. The Summit, you've got what you've got. Space. Space, just looking at this, I'm probably going with my top 4 here. I haven't even really thought about these too much. That's what I'm trying to build my team up to finish these chapters, the top 4. And eventually they are going to do a Marvin event, because you can see that I've got 20 fragments. I don't know a lot of other people that have more than that. But just the Gut and Space Cadet work together, and Mars Bugs and Astronaut Sylvester. Astronaut Sylvester's only a 3-star tank, and that's Astronaut Bugs is a 3-star attacker. Space Cadet is a 3.5-star tank, and Duck Dodgers is a 4-star attacker. So you're like, well, who's going to tank? It's going to have to be Sylvester, because if you're looking anywhere else, Astronaut Hector is weak. He's a 2.5-star attacker. Astronaut Granny is weak. She is a... Where is she? I thought she was an attacker. But she's weak. I know she is. Oh yeah. This Granny is a 1. He's on the same tier as that Trapper Sylvester. And then you've got Witch Lanza here, and she is 1-star. So these bottom 3, if you're thinking about putting together a space team for just don't even think about using these bottom 3 at all. If you're trying to put together a team to do anything with space with, go with my top row here. Anyway, guys, I wanted to know what you guys thought about, enough about teams. What do you guys think about Tweety Bird? because I'm looking here at the thing, and Tweety Bird is a 3.5-star attacker. So I need to get somebody going for this. I don't even know who I should go with. Probably go back to Wiley because I need to get some of Wiley. If this thing will go over to where I need to go, and we'll go. Yeah, Wiley because so I need some more Wiley. So we'll start on Wiley. But yeah, what do you guys think of Tweety Bird? Tweety is a 3.5-star attacker, like I said. So he's very usable, but he's not great by any stretch. And honestly, I'm okay with that. Honestly, I'm not having him right off the bat. I think I got 40. I tried to do some spins. I didn't get any of that. I've done a lot of feather exchanges. Probably should do some more soon. Let's look at the available stuff here. I haven't done this yet. Here, basic $5 package could be worse, obviously, but I think it's a good for what you're getting. You know, you're getting 400 feathers, which is really good. You're getting 75 energy, which is really good. You're getting 2 superior traffic lights, which is really good. 5 Granny fragments, 5 Sylvester fragments, 5 more Tweety fragments, which would put me over 50. Because you can see I'm 48 right now. That's a solid deal, man. Solid deal. And then there's usually only one really good deal. Like this is, I don't know. If you want the 8 tickets, go for it. So I'm going to say about that, $30. There's just a lot because it's gonna instantly unlock a lot of those things in the quest thing, and 100 energy is a lot. I just think the price tag is too high. That's all. But if you want to do it, please, by all means, go for it. Don't let me stop you. Next we have Sylvester. Sylvester is $50. I don't think it's worth it. If you want it, go for it. Total. Don't let me stop you. This $30 package. Oh, yeah, same thing. That's all I'm going to say about it. Just same thing. Granny. By the way, you're not going to regret spending that money on Sylvester because, like I said, Sylvester is one of the best attackers in the game, period. And then you've got Granny, who is one of the best support healers in the game. Granny. So you're not going to regret opening these tunes. I'm just saying that there might be another way. But hey, if you got $50, you're like, hey, I need Granny, go for it. Hey, I need Sylvester, go for it. By all means, please. Don't let my opinion sway you from what you think about what you need to do in this game. Anyway, guys, I don't know what's coming up. I just thought that I'd do a video about teams and talk to y'all a little about what I'm thinking. And I appreciate you talking to me. Staying tuned. If you like what I'm doing, please leave me a thumbs up, subscribe, tell your friends, everything. I'll be back as soon as they announce what the next event is. Till then, have a good day. I'll see you later. Bye.